Welcome back to this week's video lesson for cello students. Today we will be discussing how to play the C major scale. Now a scale is an octave of notes that goes up and down in order, and an octave is 8 notes. You can tell this because of the prefix OCT or oct, which you can also see in the words octopus and octagon. So an octopus has 8 legs, and an octagon has 8 sides, and an octave is 8 notes. They all have the same prefix. The other thing to know about a scale is that the name of the scale tells you the lowest and highest note of the scale. So when we play a 1 octave D major scale, we start on open D, and then we go to high D, 4th finger on A, and then we go back down the scale again. For a G major, the lowest note is open G. The highest note we play is 4th finger on the D string, which is also G. So you can probably guess for C major scale, the lowest note is C, and the highest note is also C, directly an octave above. Another thing specific to the C major scale is that it doesn't have any sharps in it. So the D major scale has 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. The G major scale has 1 sharp, F sharp. C major scale has 0. So it's going to take some getting used to saying F and C rather than F sharp and C sharp, because we're so used to saying F sharp and C sharp. But remember that the C major scale doesn't have any sharps in it. So I have the notes written here on this whiteboard. So let's practice reading the scale up and down. 1, 2, ready, go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. So to play these notes that are not as familiar to us, I have here a diagram of the fingering that you'll use for the C major scale. So 2 things that are different about the C major scale is that we're actually playing it on 3 different strings, whereas the previous 2 scales we played only on 2 strings. The other thing to note is that rather than starting on an open string, we start on 4th finger on the G string, which is the note C. So you play 4th finger C, open D, E, all of these 2 notes are very familiar. Now F, this note is newer. So instead of using 3rd finger, you play 2nd finger, and that's how you get F rather than F sharp, because they're different notes. Same thing when you get to the A string. Rather than using 3rd finger to play C sharp, you use 2nd finger, your middle finger, to play C. So let me demonstrate this a little bit. Here is the note F, 2nd finger. Here is the note F sharp. Now here's the note F again. Can you hear how there are different pitches? How the F sounds a bit lower? That's because it is lower. Now a tip about playing your 2nd finger in tune, especially if you don't have a finger stride for it, is when you put your hand down, naturally your 2nd finger and 3rd finger want to be close together. However, if you let your 2nd finger be too close to your 3rd finger, you're going to be too sharp or too high in pitch. So think about separating your 2nd and 3rd finger further apart, and then your F will be in tune. Same thing when you play C. So when you use 2nd finger C, spread it apart from the 3rd finger here. So then the 2nd finger will be in tune. While none of these fingers are too far apart, you just don't want your 2nd and 3rd finger being right next to each other. So I'm going to bring up the whiteboard again to talk about another concept. It is the difference between whole and half steps. So I have the word written over here. And so a whole step, let me give an example. So when you go from E to F sharp, you're only going 1 note higher, but there's a fair amount of space between your fingers. If you go from F sharp to G, it's also 1 note higher, but the distance between your 3rd and 4th finger is smaller than the distance between your 1st and 3rd finger. And that's because that's the difference between a whole step and a half step. So whole steps are further apart than half steps. So I'm bringing up the half steps because when you go from E to F, that is a half step. When you go from B to C, that is also a half step. So let's go over the scale. I will play it for you, and before each note, I will tell you what finger to use, what finger number. So fourth finger C on the G string, open D, E first finger, second finger F, fourth finger, open A, B first finger, C second finger. Going down the scale now. First finger B, open A, fourth finger G, second finger F, first finger E, open D, fourth finger C on the G string. So those are the notes and fingerings for the 1-octave C major scale. Now let's play it my turn, your turn. So I will play 2 quarter notes like this, let you play, and then I will go on, pause so you can play, and so on. So let's play it my turn, your turn. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, now let's play it your turn, your turn. So what will happen is we'll just play it together in unison. 1, 2, ready, go. So that's the C major scale. Be sure to practice this with the video a few times, and once you feel comfortable and get the notes well in position, then you can practice it on your own, and once you've polished it up on your own, then you can submit the assignment. I hope you have a good week, and I will see you next time.